Okay, tonight we're going to be installing the Tru Count clutches on the 7200 planter. This is a chain-driven meter, so we've got chains and sprockets on a hex shaft. So what I'm going to do is pull this hex shaft out. Because this is a wing fold planter, I've got 3 rows per section, so I've got a hex shaft 3 rows wide, and of course in the middle it goes into the seed transmission there. So we'll uncouple it from the tranny, and we will pull that hex shaft out and reinstall with the Tru Count clutches, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take the hex shaft out of the seed transmission. I'm going to roll this over. I can get the pin over here. Get the pin to a place that's accessible to me. I'm going to roll this over. I can get the pin over here. Get the pin to a place that's accessible to me. Okay, first thing I got to do is take this hex shaft loose from the seed transmission. Not a big deal. Roll it over to a point where I can get to this cotter pin. I'm only going to take the inside one off because the outside one, because the inside one keeps that coupler joined to the transmission itself, and we're not going to bother the transmission at all. All we're going to do is pull this hex shaft out. Yep, that's my luck. Fucking great. Okay, so pin broke off in the coupler. It's one of the super awesome things you have to look forward to when you deal with old shit all the time. Okay, again with the jewelry hammer. Alright, move. I bet I can get it out the other side now. Maybe. Oh, there she goes. Okay. That was easy. Alright, so that's detached. All goes well. I should be able to just yank this whole assembly right at the end. I'm going to bet all is not going to go well, but let's find out. We're going to tap on it a bit, see if we can break it loose. Or break this coupler off. Okay, when in doubt, break shit. I can get that coupler off there. Hold this thing still. Shazam! Now it's coming out. Let's hope. Not quite. Yank it again. First thing I'm going to do is look all these bearings over. This one wasn't much of a bearing before I hammered on it, probably, from the looks of the... Yeah. Oh, there they are. Let's just get them all out of there. Heck yeah. So then, with Tru Counts, what you'll do is you'll take this hanger bearing here, and we'll reverse it. So we want, the clutch is going to go more or less where this sprocket is, but we'll just basically flip the flip the sprocket or the bearing sprocket combos around. If these are junk, I'm going to replace them. I have some, actually bought several of these style bearings that are really only meant for the outside, but they work nicely here if you're going to run Tru Counts, because you don't need this sprocket anymore. So I'm going to pull this chain off real quick. See how bad the bearing really is. I don't like that chain one bit, but let's find out. So, see that? Junk. Total junk. So we're going to replace that one for sure. I'm going to inspect all the others. I'm going to bet with that original green paint on all three on this wing section anyway, that these are original, and I'm going to bet they're all shit. So, yeah. Going to get to it. So just like that, you take one. This is a good one I had. I took off the other side. I replaced several of them a few years ago. Still a good bearing. Nothing wrong with it. So I flipped it around so that sprocket's just a dead idler now. So I'll change this one out, change the rest of them out, and we'll be on our way. Okay, we've got a new bearing out here. This one's flipped and replaced with a better one. Flipped and replaced with a better one. I'm going to throw that coupler back in here real quick so we can slide the hex shaft all the way back in and be done with this thing. Okay, and now we're going to thread this thing back in. We're going to put the components on in order. So the first thing we're going to do is a little piece of PVC pipe as a shim. Sometimes it needs one, sometimes it needs two. I've been using two, but I'm running out, so I'm going to use one. And I think what I'm finding is, for the most part, two is too many. But if you get an extra one and want to use it that way, you can. The only thing you got to do is take a punch or something, or a chisel, and give that thing a whack. You can break it and pull it off the hex shaft later if you want to. Last thing after the clutch goes on is this locking collar. So the bearing and the shim keep the clutch from sliding left. The lock collar got a little hex screw in it. Will keep it from sliding right. So I get that far. I'm gonna slide the rest of my assembly on through to the next one. Okay, well, I guess I got to order this stupid thing. Need to tighten that back down. So I've got clutches on these 3 rows now. Once I get the chains on them and run it a little bit, I'll kind of get the chains on it and turn the hex shaft over with a crescent wrench and check the alignment of it. Then I'll actually hit that and lock this thing tight so it can't shift left or right. It really don't have a whole lot of travel limit anyway. So worst comes to worst, it takes a $7 chain and puts it in a bind. It doesn't last as long, so not the end of the world. Gotta get me a new cotter pin for my coupler. We'll stick that thing back together and then call this side good. I've got the outer wing to go. So I'll be doing that tomorrow night off camera. And then it's time to start attaching the air boxes and the electronics. So we'll get to it.